Utah Senator Orrin Hatch. He is now the new chairman of the Finance Committee with jurisdiction over taxes, trade, entitlement programs, and much of the nation's healthcare system.
As the Senate Finance Committee chairman, what's the first thing you're going to do to send up to the president to change things?
Imagine a simpler tax code that greatly reduces compliance costs, resulting in a tax code that is efficient, effective, and accountable to taxpayers. In other words, a tax code that Americans can actually understand.
What's the plan for the tax code? Are we going to get rid of it and start all over and get one we can all understand or not?
Well, we clearly have to reform the tax code, and it's a big job because, first of all, you've got to bring people together in a way that you can get the job done. Obamacare will continue to inflict harm on patients and taxpayers until it is repealed and replaced with sensible, patient-centered reform. And on that question, I think the answer is clear. The president's health law is not working, not even close. And that's why I've joined my colleague, Senator Burr, and Chairman Upton of the House Energy and Commerce Committee in unveiling the Patient Care Act. Our aim with this proposal is to take the federal government out of the equation and put individuals and families in charge of making their own health care decisions. Passed the bipartisan bicameral bill we have before us now, fixing the SGR problem once and for all, and setting the stage for future entitlement reform. In the end, there is only one legislative tool with a proven track record, and that's Trade Promotion Authority. Going back as far as FDR, TPA has been a cornerstone of U.S. trade policy. Renewing TPA has been a top priority for me for many years. And as chairman of the Senate Finance Committee, I am pleased that with the help of Ranking Member Wyden, we've been able to deliver a robust and bipartisan bill.
Breaking news tonight from Washington. We are getting a first look at a long-awaited Senate report on the IRS targeting scandal.
Today's bipartisan report is the culmination of 2 years of investigation by the Senate Finance Committee.
These were serious allegations. Indeed, they struck at the very heart of the principle, one that everyone should agree on, that our nation's tax laws should be administered fairly and without regard to politics or partisanship. The debate we're having this week is an important milestone in the history of Obamacare, maybe even the most important milestone yet. Republicans have been united in their desire to repeal and replace this misguided attempt at health care reform. This marks a watershed moment for our transportation community, who will now have the security and stability to plan, implement, and complete critical infrastructure projects. Passing this legislation and making more tax policies permanent will provide significant tax relief for hardworking taxpayers in every walk of American life. It is quite simply a great example of what we can do when we work together. And I'd just like to briefly note that these types of victories for good government have been piling up all year under the current Senate majority. And I look forward to working with all of my colleagues on whatever challenges lie ahead. With that, Mr. President, I yield the floor.